Christopher, whatever feels better.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess we always start with a little background, talk about how you got into the industry and a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there and dive into some questions.
Sure. My name is Christopher Bonil. I'm a real estate broker here in Toronto, Vaughan. I started off in the construction business.
Oh, nice.
I was in school for accounting and I wanted to be a corporate lawyer. So
Nice.
minor in accounting, major in corporate law. Once I realized that wasn't for me, I had an opportunity with a contractor that did residential framing.
Yes.
From there, I was mentored by their controller, who I later assumed his role. I
Nice.
learned a lot of accounting through there, and that's where I kind of started getting the taste for what the construction world offered, and then the residential side of it. And then from there, that's where the foundation was built. I had a great, opportunity with very, successful individuals who, gave it their all, and I was able to kind of eat the crumbs off their table. And from there, I learned, the ins and out of the residential world. So once I, felt like I had accomplished what I wanted to achieve in that side of my life, I kind of took a dabble into the real estate world.
Nice.
And even my previous employer is my client as well now today. So that's kind of how I found the interest in the real estate world, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Wow, so you kind of blended into it from your past experience going after school and so forth. It
Exactly.
Took you into
I
That's
actually
cool.
dropped out.
Wow, good for
Third
you.
year, I had 4 years. My mother disagreed with that decision.
bet.
She hated it, but it was a good opportunity. Kind of put a small bet on myself.
Yep. Took
And
that chance.
exactly, and it paid off, I guess you could say. So
Yeah, that's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
no risk, no reward, right?
Exactly. I like to say no risk, no worry sometimes.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I mean, so with the real estate, did you find a lot of overlaps from what you were doing in school in corporate law and minoring in accounting? Have you ever used some of those skills into now?
Yes and no, right?
Yeah.
So I would say maybe like 10% of what I learned
10%.
in school. However,
Yeah.
like a lot of things you learn in like institutions and whatever educational path you've taken is like some ethics and work ethics and morals and you definitely have like the part that you learn, right? So I was in contractual law.
Okay.
So that definitely, helped off when it came to agreements and understanding, what binds them and what not in that minor way.
Yeah.
However, blending in that world into real estate, I was really able to offer a unique perspective when it came to clients that wanted to develop properties, or when it came into land, or when it came to the stages into developing a home, because people think like, oh, first they build it, then they put the finishes, and then the house is done. But they don't like literally know that there's phases involved and what's involved, like what's a footing, subfloor, partitions, exactly. So there's a process involved in that, and I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to learn that at a young age.
Yeah.
And from there, I've been able to kind of overlap what I learned, and I'm still learning every day, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me. It gave me the confidence to learn, I guess you could say, because I still didn't really know what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
You do your first land deal.
Yeah.
I wasn't a pro just because I worked for somebody, right? Nobody is.
Yeah.
Experience doesn't make you a pro. Exactly. Experience doesn't make you a pro. That's one thing you definitely learn throughout the years with working with other people as well.
Yep.
And from there, I was able to kind of build on those blocks, and I was able to offer insight that clients didn't, have. Costs, connections.
Yeah.
And that's how relationships build from there, right? And they flourished, and able to put them in touch with contacts, and it's like a few branches on what that created, but that's more or less it.
Awesome. I mean, just hearing you say that, like understanding that you were in the construction space at a young age, you could definitely use some of those, that experience when you're selling a home and so forth, explaining to someone the process. You know it better than just an agent going into the market to sell.
Oh yeah, 100%, brother. And you know what? Like, don't get me wrong. They tried putting me on the site.
Yeah.
They tried getting me to carry the plywood, but I fell out a window, man.
Yeah. No way.
But it was the first floor, nothing serious. I was only like 6 feet up.
Okay.
But I just wasn't built for that, man. I would be eyeing
That
my clock,
handiwork.
waiting until it's lunch or the break. I'd be like looking for like the coffee truck to come by the site so I can just drop my belt and take
Get
a
out.
break. They're built different. That's one thing I can tell you. Those people in trades, man, hats off to them, because they don't make them like them anymore. It's a really tough industry, and especially when you're working in either scorching heat or freezing cold. And at 6 in the morning, man, exactly. It's a totally different world. So hats off to the people in that world, because it's they make the world go round. If they stop, the world stops, and you can bet your money on that. So I realized, carrying 2x4s and plywood, even though I'm 6'2", 200 something pounds, man,
Yeah.
it wasn't for me, man. My lower back started hurting. I started complaining. I just, when you don't, when your mind isn't entertained,
No.
everything is boring.
You don't have that drive.
Exactly. You just
need
look
it.
for the first out. So I realized that, and I learned the value of a dollar. I'll tell you that much.
For sure.
Working, they pay well, but
Yeah.
you bust your ass off. So that's where I kind of figured, I learned the value of a dollar. So
For sure.
that's what I got taught there at a young age, and then I had the opportunity to work in the office, and that's what I realized.
Yeah.
I'd rather use my brain than my lower back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. I like that.
Yeah.
Brain over the lower back. So tell me, Chris, do you remember your first deal?
Yes.
First deal.
Yes. First deal. Let's call it, yes.
Okay.
25 acres, King City on Highway 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So that's where...
It's a nice first deal.
Exactly. And it was actually my previous employer. So that's
Look
where
at that.
I connect back to the relationship being everything,
Yes.
Even if you think you're confident and you're able to achieve whatever you think you're going to achieve, hats off to you. You need that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're going to get a lot of doors shut in your face, and that's just the reality of this world.
It is.
Nobody wants to see you do better than them. No matter who they are in your life, the only person who does is your dad or your mom, man. And that's one thing I can tell you confidently.
Yeah.
Your father, your mother are the only two people in this world that want to see you do better than them, right? I'm not saying people don't want to see you do well, but
For sure.
that was the world I was put into. So when I kept that relationship because I understood that at a young age, even though I was still arrogant and had a lot to learn, I understood that
nothing
part,
wrong
right?
with that,
I
yeah.
really valued the relationship
Yeah.
of this person because of the success they had achieved.
Yeah.
Now I realized later in life that success really doesn't determine someone's value. However, that's the reason I kept this relationship going, and then I learned a lot more throughout the way. But that was 25 acres in land. He wanted to build his own home.
Wow.
I learned a lot through that process because I was able to go to the city. Things people don't do, right? Go figure out exactly what you're able to build, restrictions, what's permitted,
zoning.
uses, exactly. The
Soil
zonings.
tests and stuff.
Yeah, the zonings are a click away to find out, and kind of if you can rezone, kind of what the process is
Exactly.
like, what you're able to build, the size you're able to build, what percentage of the land you're able to use, which areas have an underground stream, which areas don't. There's a lot of moving factors, right?
For sure.
Because you can buy a parcel of land and you just bought swamp.
Exactly.
So, or you just bought marsh, or you thought you were going to develop 100 homes and you just bought in the Oakland Marine. So whatever the case may
If
be.
there's some sort of endangered species there, you're done.
Sure, exactly, man. And there's something called conservation authority, right? And they protect a lot.
A lot of that stuff.
Exactly, and depending what city you're in, things change. So like some cities don't care if you clear the lot of all trees, some cities do. So it really is it can be a green apple, red apple, sure, but they both taste different. So you really got to know what you're getting into. So that was the first deal that really opened up the floodgates for me, and that's when I really realized, this land stuff is really what I like. The development,
That's awesome.
the luxury home
That's
part.
awesome.
That's where all kind of tied in together.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have a support system around me.
For sure. And I think just hearing you say, understanding the difference of the process, the zoning and the species and the conservative groups and stuff like that, it's insane how much sometimes we realize how much people don't understand that or don't know that, right? And then when someone like yourself who has that experience and tries to explain it to people, I think people appreciate it more because they're not thinking of that. Regular home buyers and thinking of that when they go buy the house, what's on the land, what's the soil? They say, okay, I see a house, I see 2 garages, it's not a lot of people can fully bring that to the table. So hats off to you for that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where your brokerage that you're at now, how long you been with them?
So I've been with Royal LePage Professionals now for about a year and a half.
Nice, good for you.
They are arguably the best brokerage I've been with, to be quite honest with you. They have a very strong system. They have a beautiful building. They were able to help us secure a unit on top of the brokerage for our team because we're trying to expand and grow. Yeah. With that growing, we're trying to offer more services for clients, and that's why we chose Royal LePage Real Estate Professionals. They're the best brokerage we've worked with today.
For sure. That's awesome. And so when you're working with your brokerage, have you ever there's a lot of different types of ways that agents want to work in this market, right? In this industry, either together or kind of do their own thing with their brokerage. So what's your intake on that? Do you find it helpful when you're working with other brokerages together, or do you find it like when you work within your own group, you become more efficient?
So what we realized was our team, Capital Brokers Group, was different. You know,
Okay.
we had like-minded individuals that wanted to provide a level of service that wasn't standard. And we had a group of individuals that wanted to surpass their clients' expectations every single time, whether it was a $200,000 sale or a $7 million sale.
Okay.
We wanted to achieve that on every level, whether it was through the beginning hello, to our client manager giving you a call, to us, you know, staging the home, to us sending you a gift, to us finding you the property, to us
Following up.
filtering what's available on the market,
Yeah.
to us giving you insight perspective, you know, on what's a good investment, what's not, because, you know, not every rental is a good rental, not every home is a good investment, and that's something we realized at the beginning. So that's why Brokers Group, our team, really focused on finding the perfect brokerage that would really help support that system that we offer.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up at Royal LePage Real Estate Professionals. We believe that a brokerage is crucial to your team's success, 150%. There's like some brokerages, for example, like right at home. I'll just give you one example there. I was with them maybe for 30 days, and that's all I lasted there when I was an
Really?
individual agent, for the reason that, like, you send an email and they'll get back to you in like 3 business days.
Yeah.
You know, name a house that waits 3 business days for anybody, or a client that waits 3 business days for anybody to get back to them or whatnot.
Not easy.
And yeah, you have a lot of these new brokerages popping up that are like virtual, like EXP or whatever. You know, those really aren't brokerages. That's not the way we conduct our business. You know, the whole, I'm all for AI, virtual, this and that, but a virtual world, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
So that's why.
It's too soon.
Exactly. I believe
Yeah.
the brick and mortar brokerages, especially like Royal LePage, again, they're a Canadian-based brand. And even finding the right Royal LePage is important. It's literally a constant puzzle you're putting together. And yeah, we've worked with other Royal LePages, and Royal LePage Professionals has been the one that has exceeded all our expectations so far. And that's why we believe it's crucial to have even a solid brokerage behind you. No matter how solid your team is, it's like building the Eiffel Tower, everything being titanium, but the footings were made out of toothpicks. It's like, sure, really
Exactly.
good, everything, but your
Looks
foundation
nice,
is
but
weak. Exactly. You can cover it in gold or whatnot, but you kick a leg and the whole thing falls, right?
Exactly.
And that's kind of where we decided, you know what, we'd rather take a longer route,
Yeah. Long-term game.
but it would be more beneficial for the client in the long run as well,
For sure.
and for the team's longevity of existence as well.
For sure. That's awesome. So let's get into Chris now about some of the challenges you had. What's one of the biggest challenges you find as a broker in the market?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it's that everybody and their aunt is a realtor, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the most challenging
It's so-
part.
yeah.
It's you know, when everybody tries comparing, you know, why you're better than the other guy, you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, I negotiate better, or or I'll do this,
Yeah.
or I'll stage your home, or
Yeah.
I'll sell for less.
Yeah.
It was just like it was like a broken telephone kind of game that gets really exhausting, man. Like, price cutters, sure, you cut price, you cut quality.
Yeah, exactly.
People who can charge less, they're part of, for example, other brokerages that, you know, they don't charge anything, whatever the case may be, but they have no resources.
Yeah.
So really, that's something I realize that is a trouble that we're in the industry. Being able to differentiate people that are being authentic and people that are really good at not being authentic, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can see a lot of people online, you know, they're very popular or whatnot, but then, like, you really know the type of people they are, and you just know that, you know, they're not saying they're bad or good, I'm just saying they're not the best option for their clients.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of the game, right? And then you have agents that just don't care and completely destroy the reputation behind being a licensed broker. And you know, it's just it's a shit stain that kind of transfers from shirt to shirt if you're around the wrong people,
the
right?
impressions.
Oh,
it means a lot.
Impression is a lot, and the fact that, you know, some agents don't consider that, it's really unfortunately affects a lot of us indirectly. But it's just the name of the game we're in, right?
For sure.
It's like when the saying goes, "Name an honest lawyer."
Yeah.
Right? And then it just trickles down when it comes to realtors as well, right? They believe all realtors are the same, and you know what? They're right in a way. 99% of realtors are the same, but there are the 1% of us that are trying to innovate the industry and change how things are for the sole benefit of the prospective client, buyer, seller, investor, investor group, whatever the case may be. I believe that's the route you got to go, or else this industry is going to go to shits. And what differentiates us from a chat room, right?
Exactly. I think if there's not a way that agents can make themselves, you know, show out there that first impression and be creative about it and gain that trustworthy from their client, it's not going to go well in the long run.
Exactly.
You know?
It's
like you're saying. Yeah,
It's
true.
exhausting to pretend, right? So
It
if,
is.
if you don't build some skills and build resources that are there for the strict benefit of your client, then you're just gonna fall behind sooner or later. It's people who are in this industry for money. They're not here for long, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the name of the game we're in.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's the name
It's
of the
not
game we're
hard
in.
to tell either.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're good at hiding it, man. What can I tell you?
Yeah. So Chris, if you were to like speak to someone like myself or a young entrepreneur, someone who wants to get into the agency, a real estate career as an agent, what's the first advice you give them?
Don't depend on your close sphere of influence to be your source of income.
Okay.
That is the biggest mistake you can make coming into this industry.
Yeah.
You will have those one or two people
For sure.
that will work for you.
But don't put pressure and
But
push
don't
them.
think that, hey, I know 100 successful people. They'll use me as their agent. One thing that I've noticed in this world is that strangers will make you rich. Not people you know. They'll be the ones that want to price cut you. They'll be the ones that don't see the true value. They'll be the ones that see the 08 you, not the 2023 you. Yeah. It's just the reality of the sales world. Mm-hmm. So when you are coming into this industry with the mindset that, hey, I have to have a plan. How am I going to generate leads? How am I going to, start providing value for my viewers? How am I going to even influence my sphere of influence?
Yeah.
That's a different world. I'm not saying you can't captivate it.
For sure.
But one thing I can tell you is they're not going to work with you just because it's you.
No.
And I'm one of those people that tell their clients there's no reason why your friends should cost you money.
Yeah.
There's no reason why working with your aunt or uncle should be the reason you pay 10K more.
Yeah.
5K more, 2K more.
Yeah.
There's just no reason why it should be the case.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it, right? So if you're new coming into this world, my best piece of advice would be to get on a team that can back you, because you'll have real confidence. You're not just that phony agent calling saying, hey, I'm working with motivated buyers. I'd love to buy your home. Would you be interested in finding out what your home is worth? Because you're not working with motivated buyers, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, sure, you can be, and maybe 1% will be.
Yeah.
But again, you got 99%. The other 99% are saying the exact same thing.
Exactly.
So it's hard to filter out the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes propaganda at that point, right? It's hard to filter the truth from reality for the client, because they're not a part of our world.
No.
They're consumers, right? They don't know what goes into generating clients.
No. They don't.
So
that's not theirs to understand. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And you don't expect that to understand it, but you also got to be understanding of the fact that they are exposed to all this other marketing.
Yeah.
So you gotta
be creative.
take everything into consideration.
100%. It's awesome. And so now that you're in the space for a while, do you find, like we were kind of saying, how the market of agents is it's an abundance? There's so many of them. Do you find now in this market how things are going right now? Do you think that's become a helpful thing that there's so many agents, or do you think it's kind of a negative impact?
To be quite honest with you, and this probably going to piss a few people off, but
it's okay.
No,
we speak freely.
It's annoying. It's really annoying to see. For example, you come out with an idea, someone copies you.
Yeah, right away.
Exactly, and it's a good idea. It's flattering up to a certain extent, right? And for example, now that we're having this discussion about real estate, our Siri's listening, and we're gonna be all hit with these free home evaluation ads that you're gonna be seeing everywhere, right? You get 6 or 7, 10, 20 agents, all different ads, but we're all getting slammed with these.
Yeah.
And they work, they do, but you gotta understand, so you got 20 people slamming the same product down your throat. So that brings up the discussion of being innovative. Is it innovative if everybody's doing it?
Exactly.
But then again, it's a source that works. Now, with all these agents being in the industry, sometimes it does work to your benefit.
Okay.
Because they look at one agent as not a good agent, then they compare him to you, and that's the obvious one, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, my agent's way better. Even from first impression, whatever. However, it gets annoying in the world where, say you can be working with a client for a while, you can be working them for years, And then one funny guy agent comes by and cracks a few jokes, client finds them funny, then they work with that guy.
Yeah.
After you've been showing them, say, houses for 3 years, or you've been, chatting with the family, or building a relationship
and no
for all
transaction
this.
for that whole time.
Exactly. And you're not expecting it, right?
Exactly.
But you do subconsciously think that, providing service, because we work for free, right? We go to work and we don't get a paycheck.
It's an entrepreneurial way.
Exactly. So you think that, providing the service will create loyalty. However, that's not always the case, So I think that's the most annoying part. It has happened to me before.
For sure.
Where, I worked with a client for, say, 3 years, and then a funny guy comes, cracks a joke, sister likes him, brother likes him, then they work with that agent, and then boom, you just lost a client.
Yeah.
And it's a frustrating part of the game, but it's a part of the game we're in, right? Regardless of the business you're in, it's never fun to see someone work with someone else, especially after you've been helping them for so many years and dedicated so much of your time and resources to them. But
for sure,
that's definitely the part you dislike, and I'm sure many will agree, and many will hate, because many are the funny guys, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And so tell me, Chris, now, being in Vaughan, I'm assuming this is your main database in Vaughan.
We've actually touched almost every corner of Ontario.
Okay, so you tell me, what's the best area in your opinion right now?
It really depends what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
For example, and your budget.
Yeah, for sure.
For example, we sold roughly 6 to 7 condos in Alberta last year.
Oh, wow.
Which is a market we just dabbled into last year, because this market here was just unattainable.
Exactly.
Like purchasing a condo for $200K, $250 just wasn't a real thing.
No.
Here. So that we would allow them this opportunity. We have an agent out there that she would either do a YouTube video, FaceTime them, or the client can fly out and meet her there, whatever they like, and then show them the condo, then we get them investing over there.
Cool.
So that's one world. Now, say you wanted to develop, and you're just starting. Like, this is the first property you're going to build. I wouldn't recommend buying even if there's a house on the property, I wouldn't recommend buying a $900,000 property, whatever the case may be. I would take you a little bit up north. Be like, hey, look, this is an area where you can profit from. There's there's things they don't make anymore, and that's land. So there's parcels of land that offer that opportunity to enter the market at a low maintenance. For example, your property taxes will only be $300 a year.
Exactly.
So that's a nice market to dabble into. Your cash is safe. It's land. It's hard to secure financing because there's nothing tangible on there. However, if your cash or something you're looking to put to work, that's a solid place to go.
And a long-term game too.
Exactly. Now, say we've sold even properties: Windsor, Barrie, Bradford, Toronto, Oshawa, Vaughan, Whitby, Alberta, Tiny, Orillia, Beaverton, Brecon. You name it. We've been all around. Kleinburg, Vaughan, it's Richmond Hill, Thornhill, Bridle Path. So we've dabbled in all different types of categories.
Sure.
So it's really up to the buyer. However, yes, there's opportunity everywhere. And I believe I think agents should always be well-rounded. I think an agent who just specializes in one area is, again, teach their own. For us, we believe that this way, look at all the opportunities we're able to offer. Right? When you think land, you think it's $1 million. You're trained in this Toronto mindset, Vaughan mindset,
this bubble.
Bradford, whatever, Barrie. This is what you think. But then there's parcels of land out there for $300K.
For sure,
right by the lake, on the opposite side of Barrie. Exactly. Or if you wanted to build a cottage, you can go a little bit more north. There's areas where there's multi-million-dollar cottages already, and these parcels of land are moving for only $200K, $300K, $400K. So these are opportunities that we're able to share with our clients and help them make a proper investment. And
for sure,
also it's a privilege to be able to offer this, right?
It's
a privilege to be able to look at your client confidently and say, yeah, we've done this before. We'll contact the city for you. We can figure out what we can build. We'll have a due diligence period.
Nice.
We'll protect your deposits, whatever the case is. We've done it before. It's like the example we give. And this is, again, why I wouldn't count on you. If you were to just get licensed, your friend would be the ones to work with you. Like, for example, say your best friend needs open heart surgery. You just became a heart surgeon. You literally graduated last year. Congratulations. Your boy was there. He partied with you. He needs open heart. You think he's going to come to you?
No.
You think he wants to be your first?
No.
This is not the good first. This is the bad first. The first time isn't always your best performance.
I love that.
Regardless how you look at it.
It's true.
In any aspect of your world, your first time will never be your best performance. And that's why this world is tough to get into. However, if you put in the work to build your skills, it's a different story.
For sure.
However, that's what makes it tough.
For sure. I like that analogy. It's a good way to put it.
So
That's it.
That's what makes it really tough, man. And however,
Yeah.
once you get over that hill, it's like you earn an ability.
Yeah.
Because you're looking people in the eyes and you're not lying.
Yeah.
There's
It's a whole
nothing more
different
than a hate than a liar.
Yeah.
Right? And there's
Yeah.
nothing that a consumer hates more than a liar.
Yeah.
The second you think someone's lying, it comes out. And some people are really good at lying.
Oh yeah.
Some people like lying.
Yeah.
When I lie, I don't remember the last time I've lied. I get sick to my stomach even when I joke around. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather hurt someone's feelings than lie to them.
That's
I
fair.
have no grayscale. It's either black
That's
or
fair.
white. Yeah.
That's fair.
So that's
Very true.
That's the tough part about this industry, but it's also
It
the good
is.
part because once you get
It
over
is.
the hill, you
Yeah.
have that skill.
Yeah.
Clients will come in,
Yeah.
referrals. It's a real experience.
And I think you gain confidence that way too, because
You
you,
do.
know
You-
more than what you did.
You walk different. You
Yeah,
talk different.
exactly.
You look at your clients with a fire in your eyes, like I got you.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
there's nothing we won't be able to do together.
Yeah.
Like there won't be no rock we won't turn before you make your investment.
Yeah.
There's people that just don't care. They'll be like, yeah,
No.
yeah, buy this. It's solid. You just got to do this. You just got to do that. And don't worry. You just got to renovate here, change this up.
And you're done. It's
Who cares if there's mold? Like, it'll only be
we'll
$5
touch
grand to
it
get
up.
out.
We'll touch it up.
Yeah, we don't need an inspection. Structural deficiencies are of the past. Like some people are just like that. And
Yeah.
they'll just be like that. And it's just it is what it is.
Yes.
And that's what will make you different, right?
Yeah,
There's
that's how you differentiate from
right.
Yeah.
There's lions that king of the jungle, but there's tigers and pumas and jags and
Yeah.
everything that can, they're still badass,
Yeah.
but they're not kings of the jungle for a reason.
Exactly.
They ride solo
Yep.
for a reason.
Yep. It's
And
cool.
that's just the world we're a part of.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me, Chris, how's it been feeling for you? We talk here a lot about the lifestyle, the balance. So when it comes to you, I know I'm your father as well. So how is it between the two, being constantly active and calling and being in the industry, and then dealing with your family alongside? How's you been dealing with that?
It's a new world for me.
I bet.
I've been a part of this world, let's call it, for the last just under a year.
Wow.
It's different, but it's exciting. It's illuminating.
Yeah.
Like I love my work. I'm
Yeah.
addicted to my work, but I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with my family.
Yeah.
Like I cannot wait to get up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and go to work, but I can't wait to leave my daughter and my girl's side.
Yeah.
But it's just a part of the reality we're in. We got to go out there, go hunt the buffalo so our family can eat.
Yeah.
And when I'm done, don't think I'm like still thinking about my clients. I can't wait to get home.
For sure.
I can't wait to
You
get
wanna
back
go
to
home.
my girl. I can't wait to get back to my baby girl. Like, it's a world. They're my world now. Wherever they are is home.
Yeah.
Right. And no matter where I am, I just have this desire to get back to them inside of me. So the balance side has been a tough part of my life to adapt to the
sure. It's
person
not
who I
easy.
was.
Yeah.
Because I was Chris who didn't care how late he was at work.
Yeah.
Now this Chris cares.
Now you care.
But there's also the Chris inside of me that's punching me in the jaw anytime I think of not prioritizing my clients.
Yeah.
So it was a difficult world to balance,
It's a
but what I
pull.
realized is exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I started getting up really early, because I realized I'd rather miss time when my daughter's asleep
Yeah.
than when she's awake.
Yeah.
And that's something I vowed, and I made a promise to myself and to my family, that just myself, right? It's not like I said this to them, but I made a promise that I'm going to try to spend as many seconds as I can with them, because it's literally about the seconds. Whether I get 5 minutes with my daughter extra, or I get a minute extra with my girl at the table chatting, whatever
Yeah.
the case is, I've just made this personal vow to myself that I will do everything in my power to get home as quick as possible.
Exactly.
Without sacrificing, obviously, the integrity of the business,
For
right?
sure.
However,
sure.
yeah, that's what I realized, and the balance is hard.
Yeah.
It really is. It teaches you new things. Your heart, you're more vulnerable now.
Yeah.
A new string is attached to your heart. It's a world that it can be the most beautiful or the most terrible thing.
Yeah.
And it's what you make it. So
gotta make the best of it.
I had great parents that were really by
That's
my
great.
side.
That's awesome.
I was raised proper. My mom, my dad, they always made sure I always had what I needed.
Yep.
And regardless, they always made sure that family comes first.
Yep.
And we need to put food on the table. We get that.
Yeah.
But we're a team.
Exactly.
It's not you and us. It's us.
Yep.
And that's the life balance that's been hard to learn.
For sure.
It is hard, man.
It's not easy.
You're training yourself. You're your own coach. You're your own executioner, and it's really up to you. However, it's a beautiful chapter in your life that it becomes your whole world.
Yep.
And you also have to remember to take care of yourself too, right?
Yeah.
because taking care of your family it's my motivation for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It won't change.
Yeah.
However, I can't forget about myself either.
For sure.
Because it's like when you're on a plane's going down,
Yeah.
you got to put your own mask on first before you
Yeah.
help your kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I'm drowning, I can't help anybody.
No.
So you have to, you know, remember about yourself as well, you know. Try to find that balance, whether it's your 5 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's watching the game at night, whether it's your
Going
5
for
minutes.
a walk or just simple.
Or, you know, going to the gym,
Yeah.
having going super early because you don't got time, but, you know, you got to make time for yourself.
Yeah.
And not having time for yourself can be self-destructive. You may be thinking, you know, I'm giving it all because I'm providing so much for my family and I'm working so hard, but
they don't
you're
see that way
deteriorating
either, though.
inside, man.
Yeah.
And you start losing yourself. So that's definitely a very important thing that you got to remember. Like, if you can't take care of yourself, if something goes wrong with you, you can't take care of your loved ones.
Yep.
So you
Health
gotta
first.
keep yourself first, man. Yeah, mentally healthy, physically healthy, emotionally healthy.
Yep.
They're all pieces that will destroy you.
For sure.
You will take yourself apart if you don't find that. And that's something I'm learning.
Yeah. It's a learning curve, yeah.
At first I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And now
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm learning. And now, you know, I understand that. And I've always been there for my family. I just never took care of myself.
Yeah.
I put myself last. And I realized, like,
because you think that's the right thing to do in the moment,
Exactly.
and then you realize you can't help them as much as you can until you help yourself.
Exactly, man.
You know?
It's not like you're putting them last.
Yeah.
There's just nothing wrong with putting yourself first so that you could be this superstar version of yourself for your family.
Yeah.
But if you're putting yourself first so you can be the superstar version for yourself, that's a different talk.
Yeah, that's self.
But you're trying to become this ultimate version so you can give this ultimate life to your family. And when you have that mentality, that's when shit starts changing for you.
For sure.
And then that's when, you know, you have a different fire under your ass. That
For
little
sure.
spark turns into a fucking bonfire.
Yes.
And dude, you wake up in the morning like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest mistake we make is thinking we're gonna go home after work.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you leave in the morning, the biggest mistake you make is thinking, I'm coming home later.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't come home, dude.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make, and that's where you gotta understand, like, every second counts, every day counts. Find that balance as soon as possible because everybody runs out of time.
Yeah.
Death doesn't happen to us, it's a part of life.
Exactly.
Whether it's directly to you, whether it's directly to anybody around you, whatever the case is, dude, there is no tomorrow.
For sure. You have to live like that.
Tomorrow is a concept.
Yeah.
You coming home after work, you thinking you're gonna come home after work is a concept. Nobody in this entire world is guaranteed to come home from work.
Yeah. No. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not a lot of people think about it. We're all, you know, we feel safe and we feel constant.
You're caught up. You think, you know, it's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. What if tomorrow's doomsday?
Yeah.
You don't think that, right?
Especially in how things are going now. It's just
exactly. So I at least try to, like, you know, kiss my daughter goodbye, kiss my girl goodbye, whether they're sleeping or awake.
Yeah.
So that, you know, hey, worst case scenario, God forbid, you know.
Yeah.
At least, you know, you
had that chance.
You conducted yourself like you weren't gonna come, you know, whatever the case is, man.
Yeah.
It's like I saw this incredible video and it really woke me the fuck up. The guy goes, if I were to give you $10 million right now, I put 10 bill on the table.
Yeah.
I say take it.
Yeah.
You take it, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason not to take 10 million bucks. But if I said, if you take that 10 million bucks, but you die tomorrow.
Yeah. No one.
Do you touch that 10 million? So every day you live is worth 10 million bucks.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
It is.
And when you start looking at shit like that,
and you put your mind towards that type of mindset,
100 million. Come on, take it. You won't wake up tomorrow.
It doesn't matter the number at that point.
$1 billion. You won't wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're not touching a fucking bill on that table. It's not worth it.
No.
And then that's when you really start putting life into perspective. And it's true. It's just the way life goes, man.
Yeah. It's all about the mentality and how you perceive things.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't always think like this, you know. I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect.
No.
You're always kind of roughing up the edge, but as long as you're trying, you're trying.
Yeah. Yeah. And you give people the benefit of the doubt, and you actually, you know, you respect people for it rather than judge it. You know?
Exactly. Hey, dude, everybody's a person. Everybody's got a story.
For sure.
Everybody's got a place they want to go.
For
Everybody's got a dream.
Yeah.
Everybody's got feelings. Everybody's got family. Everybody's got problems. No, we're not different.
Nope.
We might look different, but nobody's different.
Exactly. It's awesome. Well, Chris, love to have you on anytime. We're
Always
gonna
a
do
pleasure, brother.
definitely a
Anytime.
yearly renew if you're interested. We love to have everyone come back and see the growth between the year. It'd be
100%.
awesome.
It's been a pleasure having a chat.
For sure.
Thank you for having me, Bello. Thank you to everybody.
boys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, bro.
It was a pleasure, brother.